Greetings party peeps and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're talking video games once again, and this video is about something that is very, very close to my heart. My Sega Mega Drive that I owned as a child. Now, if you're a regular viewer of my channel, you might have seen it in my Mega CD showcase, but for almost all of 1994, I saved up every dollar and cent, put it in a little money box so I could buy a Mega Drive that was only $149 at the time. Megatech value it was branded as, and let's face it, 10-year-old Nims was not one to argue. But I used to play the hell out of my Sega Mega Drive back in the day, and I took care of it like it was a newborn child. When I first moved out of home, it was one of the first things that I took with me, and it is still hooked up to this day, as you can see, and works like a dream. 30 years after I first bought it, and my Mega Drive got a good lifespan between, say, 1994 and 1998 before I started playing my Saturn more, and you can see about that experience in my Saturn showcase video, which is also on my YouTube channel. But I'm going to run through what I like to call the famous 5, which are the 5 games that I owned as a kid during the lifespan of, well, the Mega Drive's life. Sonic 2, Sonic & Knuckles, Sonic 3, Shane Warne Cricket, and Asterix Power of the Gods. Now, I do own a bunch of other games which I picked up as an adult, and I've got a stack of Mega CD games which I also had as a kid. But this video is just going to focus on the 5 games that I had during my childhood. So, let's get straight into it.
If you watched my Master System showcase, you'd know how much I was in awe of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 back in the day. From the moment I saw the demo on a kiosk in a Kmart, I was blown away by how much bigger and better it looked than Sonic 1. Now, as an adult, I know I only had to wait 2 years to play this game on Mega Drive. Boy, as a kid, it sure felt like an eternity. Sonic 2 was the first game I picked up, and to say I played it endlessly would be an understatement. Every single zone was visually stunning, and playing from start to finish took you on a real cinematic adventure. From beginning in the familiar Green Hill Zone style Emerald Hill, to the pollution and greediness of Oil Ocean, and even taking to the skies in the Tornado, this game had it all. Sonic 2 was more than a game. This was a saga, and I was lucky enough to go along for the ride. There was nothing more sinister than facing Silver Sonic for the first time in Death Egg Zone, no bigger euphoria than getting a win on the slot machine in Casino Night, and there was nothing more frustrating than Tails costing you rings in a special stage. Speaking of the special stages, these ones were mind-blowing at the time. When you come from the Sonic 1 style spinning to get this, it's a hell of an adjustment. Finally, this game is the one that introduced us to Super Sonic for the first time, and the usual formula. Get all the emeralds, get 50 rings, and you can run around invincible as Super Sonic. Just watch your step though. Sonic 2 also had a 2-player split-screen mode, which was pretty useless to me as I was an only child. But it did amaze me back then that you could chop the screen in 2 and play at the same time, unlike taking turns like in Super Mario Bros. Absolutely loved every inch of Sonic 2, but even after playing as Tails to mix things up, eventually I had to get another game. Trying to get Sonic & Knuckles in 1995 was no easy feat, especially when you're 11 years old. But thankfully, the good folk at Sega Aussie Soft re-released the game under the Platinum Collection brand. The appeal of this game was, of course, playing as Knuckles the Echidna, and while I did love playing this game, it was ultimately the weakest of the series for me. Just always seemed like a bit more of the same of Sonic 3 for me when I was a kid. And yes, I know, that's all it actually was, but when you're a kid in 1995, going into the history of game development isn't exactly high on the to-do list. I spent very little time playing Sonic & Knuckles in just its original recipe form. Mainly, I locked it onto Sonic 2 so I could play as Knuckles, but either way, it was good to get this in my collection, and it also gave Sonic 2 a jump start as well. I actually spent a lot of time playing Sonic 3 as a kid, mainly because I hired it from the video store more than any other game I can think of, and if you don't think I was a bandit for renting from the video store, I present you this. To this day, Sonic 3 is still my favourite Sonic game from the 16-bit era. I loved how much it was a big jump from Sonic 2, while at the same time, it continued the story as well. The save game feature on Sonic 3 was such a game changer because it did give young Nims a chance to have a break from his Sega, rather than play it until stupid o'clock just so I could defeat Dr. Robotnik. The Sonic 3 multiplayer mode got a fair bit of a workout for me, as I was always round at a relative's or family friend's house, and would be playing this to no end, so there's a big level of nostalgia for me with multiplayer mode. The real meat and veg of the game, though, was when you locked it onto Sonic and Knuckles. Now that's something I got full value out of. The hours upon hours of time spent playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles was countless. I'd be spending all my time from the minute I got home from school and even full weekends just playing the game. After that, I got to the point where, just for fun, I'd clock the game just so I could see all the different thumbnails on the save screen. Finish the game with Sonic and Tails and all the Super Emeralds. Finish it with Knuckles and not all the Emeralds. Finish the game with Knuckles and just the Chaos Emeralds, and again with all the Super Emeralds. Finish it with Tails and get all the Super Emeralds. Finish it with Sonic and Tails and get all the Chaos Emeralds. And do it just with Sonic riding solo, Jason Derulo style, with all the Super Emeralds. Also, before anyone points it out to me, Nims in 1995 didn't realise there was a thumbnail for Tails on his own. But there's no way in hell 40-year-old Nims in 2024 is going to accomplish clocking that feat. One last note before I close the Sonic portion of this showcase: the special stages of this era of Sonic games are the most peaceful and stressful things that could happen to a child, taking you from a relaxed state to an immediate stress in a matter of minutes. The addition of bonus stages were also good too, but the gumball machine from Sonic 3 absolutely outclasses the glowing spheres and slot machine bonus stages in Sonic and Knuckles. Well, actually, the slot machine did have its moments. Now, this one was a no-brainer. Nintendo owners have had their fair share of cricket games back in the day, but once Brian Lara Cricket came out for the first time, Mega Drive owners had the console cricket game. When Chain 1 Cricket came out in 1996, it was everything the Lara game had, but amped up 1,000,000%. All the teams from the 1996 World Cup, featuring all the test nations as well, associates like Kenya, Netherlands and the UAE, a nets option to practice your batting and bowling, weather options, different grounds, and edit modes so you can create your own teams and players, state squads, classic matches. The game was the definition of what a cricket game should be like, and it blew its competition out of the water. Plus, as an added bonus, you'd raise your bat for a milestone just like in real life. The OG Shane Warne Cricket was my first non-Sonic game owned and was played to death back in the day. In fact, the only thing that would replace it was Shane Warne Cricket 99, but that is a tale for another video. If you haven't seen my Master System showcase video, I was a huge Asterix fan as a kid growing up, and Asterix on the Master System is an underrated classic. Come Christmas 1996, I got Power of the Gods as a present in the Mega Booster Pack, which was a paint tin that had the game in it, along with a bunch of Sonic-shaped candy. The tin and the candy are long gone, but the game, man did it take a lot of hours out of my life. Full disclosure, I was never able to finish it, both as a kid or as an adult, because the difficulty ramped up a fair bit towards the later levels, and it's one of those games where, once you reach the game over screen, you're really done with gaming for the day. I did eventually see the ending when I watched a long play on YouTube during 2020, but Power of the Gods is a great game, and as a fan of the books, I loved how this jumped off the screen and very much looked like you were playing an adventure straight out of the comic. And in playing this game now to capture footage for this video, it also reminded me just how fun this is. Oh yeah, and it's still as soul-crushing to lose as it was back in the day.
So as we wrap up, all the footage that you've seen in this video was captured via the Mega Retron HD and not on original hardware. It's just easier to do it through the Retron rather than with the Mega Drive with the 32X and all the bits and bobs attached. But as you can see, look, still works an absolute treat. But that wraps up the Sega portion of my childhood. I went and betrayed my Sega roots and moved on to a PlayStation and didn't pick up a Dreamcast until 2007. But you could check out my other showcase videos for the Master System, Mega Drive, Mega CD and Saturn, which are on my channel. But thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. And as you can see, this thing still holds up an absolute treat. Need to improve on those continues though. But 99 lives, not bad at all. Yeah, love this thing. Still do to this day. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.